Good morning, everyone. I'm Marla Copal, and I help you keep your scrappy mindset focused on the marketing and sales things that you need to do to make your business a success. So, if you're ambitious, you're tenacious, you probably have that scrappy mindset, but somewhere along the line, we get into these situations where we start selling ourselves short. Yes, we doubt something that we're doing. We doubt the choices we've made. We doubt the actions we're taking. And you have to stop and go back. So stop selling yourself short. Go back. And it's time to reassess your personal accomplishments. Now, if you were going out there in the world and you were going to get a job, you're in this decision making uh, situation where you have to decide which of these accomplishments and activities you put on a resume for this job or that job. When you're an entrepreneur, everything you've done counts. If I wrote a resume about everything that I did and then everything that I learned from everything that I did over the last 50 years, well, there wouldn't be enough paper. So, what you have to do is to learn how to fine tune your experiences. And then situationally, when you're either mentoring others, coaching others, or you are seeking new customers or making decisions about new opportunities, you have to go back to that list and say, hey, what do I have that's of value here for this situation? So I'm a situational coach or mentor, whichever way you'd like to say it. I'm not a traditional coach. I haven't taken any certifications. I've got life skills. I've been around. I've had a staff of 50. I pretty much have winged it on my own in a number of situations. And I've sold a business and started over without knowing even where I was going because I had to take some time off to figure that out. So I'm a risk taker. And I think all people with scrappy mindsets are risk takers. It's just part of their genetics. So if you're one of those that's a scrappy mindset, or you think I've had one before, but it's missing, then it's really time for us to connect. So if you're someone also who's maybe been in a situation lately where you're kind of letting the ants carry you away, you're doing all the details, but you're not focusing on the big picture. You know what I mean? I'm drinking something hot this morning because my allergies are acting up and I don't want to choke up on you here. So what I'm saying when I mean, have you really looked over everything? You may be selling yourself short because you've forgotten about an experience or how that experience might apply now. And that's where somebody like me helps you remember. See, I think we've been culturized to put ourselves in a formula, to put ourselves in a bucket and say, this is me. Well, I ooze out of any bucket you try to put me into. I just don't fit buckets and I don't fit boxes. They just don't work. I'm amoeba-like depending on what the situation calls for. And that's where a scrappy mindset comes in. It can celebrate small wins or big wins, but it stays tenacious. It stays ambitious. It stays focused. But can it go off focus? Yeah, it can go off focus for a while because that's where the creativity comes in. So scrappy mindsets in marketing and in sales and in building your business and all those things you need to do is actually one of your greatest assets because you don't quick run around and look for everybody else's formula. You go look at 5 or 6 formulas and you take a piece of this and a piece of that and a piece of this and you put it together for you. So that's where somebody with experience in life and in business really comes through for all of you because we'll poke. As a scrappy mindset mentor, I poke you. I poke at what you're saying about yourself. I poke at what you're believing about yourself. I can hear where you're limited and I'll just say, hey, is that really what you want to do? Is that where you want to go? So it's our job with a scrappy mindset to stay in integrity with ourselves first. Because if we don't stay in integrity with ourselves and our value, well, who's going to want to play with us? Who's going to want to stick around and see what we have to offer? They may figure we gave up on ourselves already. So get out there and get your scrappy on and stop selling yourself short. Skip the formalities that people are saying that this is the way you do it. This is the way you do it. If you think you need 10 steps, well, then go look at 10 people and pick one step from each of them and try it on. Good morning. Because, there's no set answer. I think the entrepreneurs who really, really, really make it work for them are the scrappy mindset people I like to play with. And so if you've had your scrappy mindset on a shelf, then I want to work with you because it doesn't take long to dust off scrappy. Growing scrappy is something else. You have to get comfortable with you before you necessarily take on that tenacity to say, dang it, this is the way I'm going to do it. This is my style. This is my way. This is my focus. This is where I'm going. And so I don't always work with the beginners. I work with the people who've got a bunch of life history going on, and they just haven't married it up right in their head as to how that's their power place. So if you're looking for your power place and you have had a lot of life adventures and you're not running around and saying, well, I'm just this, I'm just that, it's time to get your scrappy on and stop selling yourself short. If you're going to take another class, and it's the third one already of this year, is it really where you need to be? Is taking a class going to move you forward? Before you look at that, I want you to go back and I want you to take time and I want you to list out all your assets. All your assets. This is your attitude. This is your experiences. It's not a job. You don't put down you were a clerk or you were this or you were that or a welder. You put down the essence of what it is that came out of each of those jobs. So if you were a welder, you put things together, right? You solder, you make things stick together and work together. Now, when you start looking at that job from that perspective, you might start thinking differently. And if you were a cook, you're a creative. And if you're a mom, you're a creative, you're a juggler, you're a time manager, you're an organizer, you're a healer, you're a hugger, you're a lover, you're a mama bear, or a papa bear if you're a stay-at-home dad. So it doesn't matter what you're doing now. Nothing erases your past history. So what I help you do is put it all in perspective so that you move forward into who you really are, into your entrepreneurial situation. So figure it out. What do you need? Stop selling yourself short. Find your scrappy mindset and join me here again Wednesday, 8:30 Mountain Time, or subscribe on YouTube. I've been doing these lives since 2020. So I got a lot of history out there. If you're interested, hey, Yolanda, I'm not paying attention to my screen. So if you are actually looking for something to do that's a little bit scrappier and you haven't had the guts to do it, stop selling yourself short, get in touch with me, and we'll see how we take you to the next step. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.